Whoa, it has been a minute. NSL world, hello. Blazers Nation here to talk some NSL update. Update on Portland where we're at. We don't have long till the deadline, so um, are there more moves to make? Are we done? Who knows? So hello, let's just check the state of the league. And I mean, it's on the tip of my tongue as I'm recording this. I meant the vomits on the tip of my tongue. The Warriors are going to win again. It's hard to admit, but they actually have a decent roster right now. So not only do they have one of the best 2K minds running the team, um, they've got a good team. They've built a really good team. So great trade targeting, great execution. Yeah, they're really they're not a bottom team anymore. So you win some, you lose some. For us, we thought they would be sub 10 wins. And that was nothing against Daz, but that team was barren. And 2K, and as I said, all of Daz's decision making prowess have really turned it around. So good for Daz, good for the Warriors. I look at the standings, and the middle band of the league is still so competitive. You've got in both conferences like 3, 4 games separates 9 and 10th from 5th and 6th. So it's going to be a really exciting close finish for the season. I think there's going to be some real heartbreaks for teams missing out, especially in those play-in tournaments where anything can happen in a one-game series, so to speak. So that's really exciting. I'm just going to the transactions page just to give my take on some of the trades. Obviously, I love to trade. It's something that I think it's probably my favorite part of the league, the problem solving aspect. I think it's a wonderful mental exercise about not just the numbers, but the patience and the resilience. And as I said, problem solving, it's a really good mental exercise. Prince v. Abaselli, I think that's totally reasonable. I think it's good for both teams. They're both obviously not hugely valuable assets, so it's just a swap for fit, which I like. Obviously, Discord broke down after my deal for Marcus Smart for Lou Dort. The fact of the matter is, I just don't have a lot of need for Smart right now. And then Ethan's wanted Dort all season. And Dort, with his tenure with OKC, and he's only 25 years old, and he's super consistent with his health, everything Marcus Smart isn't. So if I was a contender, the price wouldn't be as high because I would use Marcus Smart now that he's healthy, but I didn't need Marcus Smart. So that's why, like Joel got picks and this and that. That had to be the price of Dort. I can't use Smart right now for what I want to achieve. So Ian and I talked about that. We went back and forward all season. And Ethan, I love how he was shopping Jabari. He's never going to supersede Mobley. Like, it's the worst fit for any team having a bench guy like that who is probably going to make $30 million in a season or two. So that once he found an avenue for that, it opened up some extra value. And that was pretty much the offer that was pitched to me. So I accepted. We've got Marcus Smart now. I think Dort's going to be awesome for the Bucks, and I hope they can go all the way or very close to it and have a really successful season. Obviously, we are enjoying collecting picks right now, and that's very topical. It's just where we're at, our position. I still like JSJ to Mavericks. That's the perfect kind of team to buy. They bought for a good price. He's going to have spare salary. Like, it's not going to be a team that has to make really difficult salary decisions. So I think that was a really good move for LJ too. Finney Smith to the Raps. They wanted to cut some cap. They did that. They probably didn't lose any production, which is great. And they have that little uptick in defense, at least on paper. So that's a great deal for both teams. Knicks were in everything. Getting a second for Larson. Don't know who he is. Harrison Barnes, an 81 rated guy. So he's just stacking those assets, similar to me. Thomas Bryant and Cameron Payne swap for Lakers. That's also a great value for value swap. Like they had different positional needs, both teams, like Prince and Yabusele. So great deal for both. Oops, lost power. I'm just trying to load the transactions page. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Minnesota. So they were able to grab Russell, which seems like a really good price now. And if they can keep him, he's a perfect guy to have next to Butler and Davis. So it's good to see the Rook. We don't hear from him or her or they much, but it's good to see the Rook taking some shots. And I think that's a really good price for Russell, especially now in hindsight with him looking really good in the game. Conley to the Magic for Peyton in seconds. Smokey's plan, let's just stack assets. Anything that makes this a bit worse, that helps as well. I haven't looked at the transaction page since it's become more succinct, like small little sections. We had a bit of a free agency frenzy, two-way players. Len to the Jazz. Yeah, cost them a few seconds. They've had a bit of rotten luck, Utah. Obviously, Embiid's the obvious one, but they bought Thibault for like way above what his price should have been. And I don't know what's up with Thibault, but he's still yet to play a game in the NBA this season. So that was a steal for the Warriors. Eric Gordon's out for the season. I just heard as well. So that's rough. That's a real rough turn of injuries for the Jazz this year. They are one of the most talented teams, so I think they'll still be successful, but it's definitely put a dent in their plans. Here we are back again. Buddy Hield to Miami for a steal. No one can pull one over on Pete. Caleb Martin to Portland, who apparently everybody hates. That's okay, Caleb. You can stay with us. Buddy Hield, who is good. Like, I'd love to see what he does for Miami this week. And we did a little first round swap for barely any value, and it was just 2 seconds. So easy dealings with Pete. He comes saying, this is the idea, I think. There's usually not a lot of wiggle room, but it's usually a pretty good offer off the bat. So that was pretty easy dealings for us. And we're all the way back to... No, it's still February. Gosh, there's been a lot of transactions. Here we go. Yeah, still in Feb. Kevin Love to the Warriors for Beauchamp and a second back to the Heat as well. Seems okay for both. Minnow for Morris. Nets, another like-for-like swap. Good for both. And these are the kind of deals you see a lot more of now with the trading rules and restrictions. Those one-for-ones. Because it's so hard to now aggregate your guys more than once a season. Oh, the blockbuster. Jamal Murray for Zach LaVine. Spurs just trying to pull out all the stops and figure out what's going on this season. They have tried to change up the player type next to Giannis, and TBD how that goes. Brooklyn have had a good week with LaVine, so that's exciting for them. Herb Jones, the Cavs are right at the precipice. It sucks they lost Herb Jones for a season. What a wasted season for Jones. But the Suns pounced and sent Denny, the live body, to Cleveland so they can keep that momentum going. What else do we have? Here we go. Pete and Miami and Portland got into bed twice in the same week together. Some pick swaps. So I was able to buy a 25 first rounder for a 26 and a 28. I don't know if I'll land the plane on it with all these picks, but I have some aspirations, and I do like a lot of the targets in this draft class. So it's all part of the process at this point. Grayson Allen to the Bucks. We are just propping the Bucks title team up for Buddy Hield and Luka Garza, and they were able to get Jeremiah Robinson Earl. So a
I think a good deal for the Bucks. I was able to cut cap. The boost I was able to gain was gaining some salary relief, 5 or 6 million, I think, in the end, which is nothing to sneeze at. Oh, it's organized in weeks now. That's right. Someone requested this. All right, this might be the last week we do, and then we might turn our attention to our team. Nah, not much happening here. No, Al Horford, that's right. Al Horford and Lowry to the Hornets for very little. They've done such a good job, Craig, and the Hornets team building that team this year with not much in terms of capital to move. It was a big deal at the end of January. Russell moved to the Knicks, Nurk to the Pacers, Oubre to the Spurs. That's our last kind of big aggregated deal. Oh, that's right. Injured superstar Melton to the Mavericks. Look, oh no, sorry, this would be the blockbuster. How good have the 76ers looked? Man, just Paul George, just what they needed. And yeah, it sucks they've got Murray out, but they're still good without him. So kudos to Ben for looking for value where others saw debt or inefficiency. He was able to find a guy that's really lifted the ceiling of his team. And he had so much depth, he had to condense. So you've really nailed it, Ben. I know we don't always get along, but you've nailed that, and your team looks way better with and without Murray. Obviously, with Murray, the ceiling's a lot higher. You were whooping on all the contenders, but at least you've got a great core in place now. So well done for taking that risk. I go to my team now before we wrap up. We've obviously done made a lot of moves this year, and yeah, we're very attentive of what goes on. We follow a lot of the results, but our biggest shot will be obviously in the draft, where we've got 7 first-round picks. So at this point, we've got 3 top 10, and we've got 3 in the teens and 1 in the early 20s. So some scope to condense and move up, some scope to draft in different zones, so we're not wasting any value in the draft. Obviously, you want Cooper or Harper or probably a top 5 or 6 pick. Then it becomes a little more difficult to make decisions, but at least we're not missing out on value. We'll be able to pick guys who we have to reach for a little bit, or guys who fall to us because we've got a nice spread of picks. So I've never really drafted before, so this will be exciting and something new for us. Look, Beal should be on another team. I get it. The salary's a lot. It's really hard to make a match, but he's just a really good scorer, and especially in this 2K. Yeah, it's looking more likely that he won't find another team because of that real life bias against Beal, but them the breaks. We're happy to keep him. He's still got years on the deal. And he's an 85, and he's an elite scorer, so we're okay with that. We got Jaden Ivey back for the week, which was lovely. He's a great scorer already, at least in this 2K, before he goes back out with his fractured leg. Struce, the Winter Soldier, he's been great for us. He barely misses a 3, no matter where we plug him in. He's probably headed for an 80 rating as well. Anthony Black's had a really good season. Marcus Smart's in now. We'll plug him in next week and see how he does. He's back healthy in the league. Nick Smith Jr.'s had a bit of a boost from real life. Bagley, I think, should end up on another team because he's a really useful big on a cheap for not much cost. Yeah, lots of players moving in Portland. And I keep hearing how we're going to fit everybody in. Well, we can't at this point. So luckily we have a long time to trade and a long time to figure it out. But it's very exciting, and the league's in such a wonderful place, and I love to end the pods just with that message of community and collaboration, and I love the arguing. I love the support when someone needs it. It really just functions like a high order community, and that's, I think, an underrated byproduct of the actual basketball machinations is that Um, yeah, we have fun, we connect, and it's an amazing hobby that we all get to share. So probably won't get another pod in before the deadline. We'd love to move Beal. We would love to move Struce. He seems really useful this engine, and Bagley. I reckon we could move Struce, Beal, and Bagley, or Smart. Smart's contract's a bit tricky. We'd be happy with any of those options being moved. Thank you for listening. As I said, go Portland, go NSL. Good luck to all the teams that are jostling for the title race in the playoffs.